God creates, Satan counterfeits. That is an evangelistic appeal through a mainstream movie to convert an entire generation to the demonic and to witchcraft, particularly young women, which has always been the nefarious appeal of witchcraft and paganism and sorcery and divination under the auspices and guise of feminism and female empowerment.
Oh boy. It's ironic that one of the major themes of the movie Wicked is fearing things you don't understand, and in the wake of the movie, evangelicals are terrified because, well, they don't understand it. Look, it's no surprise at this point. Media literacy is not a strong suit among modern evangelicals. Just take a look at the satanic panic of the 1980s, the mass book and music burnings that became staples of evangelical crusades, or the viral freakouts that occur anytime a music video uses religious imagery.
Montero Lamar Hills, a stage name is Lil Nas X. Here he is with the shoes that everybody promoted for a while. They sold out within minutes of going online. Then when enough old leather lung preachers and people out there, Christians, started crying, Nike was like, oh, I guess we might cancel it after they had already sold out.
Wicked is no exception, and let's be real, most of them don't even look past the title.
Here's the bottom line. If you are a believer and you're wondering whether you should go watch a movie called Wicked or not, the title should be enough. The word wicked means evil or morally wrong. Yet Christians, of course, are supporting it like they do every other wicked thing.
Just the word wicked alone is enough for most of them to write it off entirely, much like those who claim Cinderella's cat being named Lucifer is evidence of a satanic agenda by Disney, or those who are outraged at the Conjuring series for being quote-unquote demonic because it involves stories about demons, while failing to notice it's literally a story about good conquering evil. And you know what else contains stories about demons and good triumphing over evil? The Bible. But I digress. The point is that pastors like Mark Driscoll think they have an easy slam dunk here, but the truth is they don't even know what basket they're shooting in. And frankly, this is sad because historically, there have been many Christian authors and writers who have engaged really intelligently with art and even created some impressive art that reflects their faith. Look at J.R.R. Tolkien with Lord of the Rings or C.S. Lewis with the Chronicles of Narnia. There's been some really beautiful use of well-known cultural tropes and imagery to communicate a message that's important to the author. But unfortunately, for some reason, intellectualism has started drifting away from the evangelical world in the last couple of decades. Just look at this example from Pastor Daniel White of Fellowship Baptist Church in Michigan. This clip comes from this past Sunday. Check this out.
I always listen to a local radio station. And something they came on about this musical that just came out, maybe, I don't know how long ago it came out, but just recently, called Wicked. How many have ever heard of that musical? Guys, Wicked. Oh, yeah, I've heard about it. And they made the statement that it's the highest grossing musical of all times. I think in the first week that it came out, it grossed over $600 million. And so I just mentioned this, and Shelley said, I'm going to look that up, see what that is all about. So she went on to her cell phone, knowledge shall increase. And she started reading. Well, first of all, before she did that, she told me about a Christian family who allowed their little children to watch this. And these little children were telling her all about the movie, all about the musical. So she looked up and she began to read. I mean, it was horrifying. And she was reading to me what was all going on in this musical. And I thought, you couldn't name it better. Wicked. And our Christian parents are allowing their children to watch this? Can you see how defiled our conscience has become? To what is good, what is evil, what is right, what is wrong, what is clean, what is unclean?
For a musical with a central theme about challenging preconceived notions of good and evil, the people condemning this movie are kind of proving the very point the story tries to make. Anyway, I had to share these clips because it's so funny the way Wicked landed for these guys. It's not surprising though. As a former fundamentalist, Wicked struck a very different yet deeply personal chord with me. When I first sat down to watch it, I didn't know much beyond the big songs like Popular and that it was about the Wicked Witch. Watching it was a great experience. Elphaba's story felt familiar immediately because I've seen others treated like her in fundamentalist circles. Being mistreated from birth for something she couldn't control, like her green skin, reminded me of how certain individuals are unfairly judged in strict religious communities. Which, side note, let's be real, they were all just jealous because she rocks that green. Green is a straight up magical color. And you know what else I love that's green? Magic Mind. If you're like me, juggling work, creating content, and trying to keep everything together, focus and mental clarity can feel like a luxury, and that's why I love Magic Mind. Their mental performance shots are packed with natural ingredients like matcha, ashwagandha, and lion's mane to give you a clean energy boost without the crash. Whether I'm writing, filming, or editing, Magic Mind helps me stay sharp and productive. And when it's time to unwind, their sleep performance shots are a game changer with a powerful blend of L-theanine, kava, and ashwagandha. They help you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up feeling refreshed, all without melatonin, grogginess, or dependency. It's a natural, non-habit-forming solution to deep, restorative sleep. Right now, you can try their Focus and Sleep Performance Shot Bundle at 45% off. Just go to magicmind.com/preacherjan and use the code PREACHERJAN to get started. It's risk-free with a 100-day money-back guarantee, so there's no excuse not to try it. Trust me, your mind and body will thank you, and you'll feel like you're defying gravity. Okay, now that I've finished one of the wildest transitions into talking about Magic Mind, let's go ahead and get back to my experience watching Wicked. All right, honestly, it was the final confrontation with the wizard that stood out most to me. His smarmy, overconfident persona felt painfully familiar, dripping with the same energy as celebrity pastors who thrive on their charisma while exploiting their followers. Elphaba's journey mirrored experiences I've seen time and time again, challenging the vision of a leader and being labeled as wicked, rebellious, or sinful for daring to question authority. I think the anger from many fundamentalists stems from Wicked's refusal to paint a black and white picture of good versus evil. They refuse to understand that the world is a lot more gray, and those deemed evil by the majority are often only guilty of confronting wrongdoing. Wicked doesn't just tell a story about a misunderstood witch, it challenges us to think critically about the labels we place on others and to examine the motives of those who hold power. So maybe the real reason pastors like Daniel White or Mark Driscoll have such a problem with Wicked is that its story hits too close to home. I guess it's no surprise that pastors will have a problem with a story about an egotistical con man who pretends to care deeply for the people under his authority, claims extraordinary power he doesn't actually possess, relies on exploiting others to maintain his facade, and when challenged by one of those individuals who dare to rise against him, spins a self-serving narrative that casts himself as the hero while uniting everyone else under his leadership by branding his challenger as a wicked villain. But maybe that's just me. What do you think? Let me know in the comments of this video, and I'll see you next time. And of course, midway through the edit, I realized that I left out a section that I wanted to include in the video, so I'll go ahead and put it here. April Ajoy, who is the author of the book Star Spangled Jesus, she's a past podcast guest on the show, frequently collaborates with the new Evangelicals podcast, and just all around funny and thoughtful and hilarious person, actually created a TikTok showing the responses to the Focus on the Family review of Wicked and read them in a humorous way. And so I thought I would tag that at the end of this video. Be sure to head over to her original video over on her TikTok. I'll link to all of April's social links all over the place, so you can go follow her. And be sure to listen to my conversation with her about her book, Star Spangled Jesus, here on the Preacher Voice podcast. And that should be floating somewhere around here if you're watching on YouTube, but I'll link to that in the show notes and description of this video as well. But anyway, just want to interject that and hope you enjoy.
The Focus on the Family posted their Christian review of the new movie Wicked. Let's read the comments. I hate to be Captain Obvious here, but they're witches. It's a story about Satan followers, not Christ followers. WICKED! Hard pass. Case number 1 billion, how society wants to destroy our children from an early age. Just say no! Hamilton is also problematic. I no interest in that. If I had kids, they would not be seeing that. The name of the movie is Wicked! How much more is needed to tell any Christian it's wrong? We do they have ruin of good things, make it more Satan just to get more people that do witchcraft. That is Santan's work. Because the obvious celebrating witchcraft is not an issue? Come on, focus on the family. Are we endorsing Harry Potter too? Of course. Like President Trump said, everything they touch, keeping it clean, they ruin. Love the play, will not bother wasting my money on this. This saddens me, seeing them pretty much promoting this. The book itself is trash, but come on, guys, it's literally called Wicked. Who's that to? Too demonic. Okay, I can't seem to get past the fact that this is about witches. Why is that gorilla in the room not being acknowledged? When Target is carrying their products, you can bet it's of Satan. Just another flop in a long line of flops. Christians must avoid seeing this movie. The woman in green symbolizes the soon-appearing fake Mary who Satan will masquerade as.